You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast following a 4-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game that can only be described as frustrating. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Pillar. Pillsy, your immediate reaction following that gong show?
I mean, this was a wild game, Ross, because I can sit here and say the Ottawa Senators should have won that game. And I can also sit here and say there is no chance the Ottawa Senators should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at a bunch of different plays, like just quickly, and we'll get into them deeper. But that Timmy and Drake 2-on-0, when do you have those two guys make that play perfectly and you don't score there? Like, that doesn't happen very often. And like they talked about in the broadcast, that Ross Colton phantom high stick where it's like you got cottage internet there where it happens 2 seconds after and it's buffering where he puts his head back after Sandy's already skating away, and then they obviously score on that ensuing power play. So there's a lot of different directions. That's kind of my quick back and forth of it, Ross. So I'll let you take it away and I'll follow up with whatever direction you go next here.
All right. Well, first I'll give stick taps to the penalty killing unit. They were out there for way too long. And I think more importantly, the forwards at the top of the umbrella, they were able to, cause turnovers, get those breakaways. First Mott, then Joseph gets the goal. But the Senators had no business winning this game. I saw the stat after the game. We always do the postcast a little bit after because I want to hear from DJ Smith, and we'll get into him because I'm losing a lot of patience with DJ Smith in this game, in this season, whatever you want to say. His leash is getting shorter and shorter. The Senators have been outshot in 10 straight periods. That's 3 games and an extra period. Each one, not cumulatively, each one. And they're doing the same thing over and over. And I can listen to the argument. Artem Zub's out of the lineup. Yeah, that's your best defensive defenseman. Maybe there's going to be a bit of lag in how your D-zone coverage is at times for the 20 minutes he's out there. No, it's a team issue right now, and it starts with the leader. I hate singling someone out here this early in the postcast, 4 minutes in. Thomas Chabot was brutal tonight. Absolutely horrific. The game-winning goal, the Kucherov goal, he's just standing there. No man's land. He's not even out. It's not a power play. There was enough of them. Maybe he just instinctively thought they were a man short. He was absolutely horrible on that play. Then the bouncing puck that ends up being the Nick Paul goal that's called back. What's he doing there at center ice? Not much. I thought that was atrocious for a guy who's supposed to be taking a step in the right direction and whose actual salary becomes $10 million for the next 3 years after this one. He's playing like a $2 million player out there right now.
Yeah, it's simply not good enough, and too much of Ottawa's success relies upon Thomas Chabot playing up to his level, especially without Artem Zub in the lineup here. And DJ tried to put Brandy. I don't feel like that lasted very long. It didn't exactly work, and
it was weird. They flipped sides to start. Like, Chabot's playing the right side. Are you that in your own head that you're not even playing guys in their proper position? Brandy's been on record as saying he's comfortable on the right side. This might be the first time Shabby's played right side in his entire life. I don't know what they're doing. This is a must-win.
Yeah, it's not good right now. Looking at a 3-game losing streak, I'm remaining very calm here, and I guess maybe part of me, Ross, is just trying to turn you down a little and keep us at room temperature here. But
you know what my problem is? Well, there's 2. One is I have hockey at 11:10 my time, so 12:10 midnight. So I have had 0 beverages. Usually I like to have a sip of one. And this is just overall a frustrating game. And I'm also playing Tendy
for me.
First time in
Tendy?
Yeah.
Attaboy, that's sweet. I like that.
But I'm also frustrated because this was a winnable game for a variety of reasons. I think you honestly summed up this game so perfectly. First thing you said. This is a game they should have won, and this is a game they had no business winning. Like, it's so profound for what we watched out there. You can get into the fact the Sens had 8 penalties to kill off, including a 1:34 5-on-3 where they got the goal. But this comes down to bad giveaways at bad times. If we're not going to talk about the refs, we could do a whole show talking about the refs. I get it. But without that, You look at the missed opportunity on the clear, on the game tying goal where Ottawa answered right away. And people are getting on me for getting on Nikita Zaitsev, number 22 out there, I should say. He goes knee down, stick down, paddle down, as I'm getting ready to do play intendy. He goes paddle down. And the puck literally goes right through him. Is that just luck, or is that a lack of being able to get in front of it?
I mean, he's no Tendy, so his butterfly was probably not proper form. That's not what you want to see on that play. But
reverse DH at that point.
yeah, exactly. He's going Craig Anderson hybrid with that one. But I don't. It's so frustrating because it seems like they did enough, and you know what? They're going back to the Senators of former years, where it's like, okay, we're going to have them give everything they got. We're going to be holding on to a string, but then when we get those few scoring opportunities, we'll capitalize on them and we'll hope Forsey can keep us in it. And that's what's happening in this game. The game plan, if that's your game plan, which it really should not be, but it was working. They had the lead more often than not in this game, and they're able to have massive momentum boost, killing off that 5-minute major. And Ross, you joked about Gambrell's 7-year contract extension. Well, I think his agent should lead off with his goals per 60 in this season, because that stat is going to be through the charts if he's trying to get it.
Senator tonight, and he only played 5 minutes before he got kicked out.
He did look good. Yeah, unfortunate play there. Obviously a high hit on Chernak, but I don't think there was any malicious intent there. It's just a bad timing, Chernak moving.
Definitely got him in the head. I thought 2 was
no, he did.
But Chernak almost looked like he was off balance going into it. Gambrell's like 6 feet at most. Chernak's like 6'4", 6'5". I don't know. His head was probably at about 5 feet, nothing by the time he hit it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it wasn't a head hit. It was Chernak being off balance and then clipping the head. That's going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah. So I think it was the right call, as bad as it sounds. But there was a whole lot of bad calls in this game, and that's where things get difficult. I thought it was tough because it seems like guys were just falling all over the place. The Tampa Bay Lightning, these guys were losing their minds at certain calls. Like, Steven Stamkos was screaming in that referee's face for that too many men call. And the ref was like, Stammer, like, I got it, man. You got to calm down here. And John Cooper, after that one call, I thought his head was going to pop off. He was going red in the face, veins popping. Like, no wonder, like, the refs are being peer pressured in this game to make the calls here from, like, high respected players and coaches, obviously. But I mean, that can't be having that much of an impact on this game. And then all that happens, Ross, and the Senators don't let it get to them. You mentioned it. They scored on a 3-on-5. When do you ever see that? And Matthew Joseph, it was like, I felt that was like a gladiator moment. Like, he was back in the rampa for the first time. No one's around him. Everyone's cheering. And he just buries it for his first goal of the season. Like, that is a hell of a hockey play. You'll love to see that. And that really seemed like the Senators were like, okay, we've got the lead now. We're just going to hold on to it. And they did a good job. They did a good job of that. But this is not the Arizona Coyotes. This is not the Buffalo Sabres. This is the Tampa Bay friggin' Lightning. If you give them these many opportunities and allow them to put this much pressure on you, you're gonna bend, and then snap. There's no bend, but hold off the break. You're gonna snap, and that's what happens at the end of the game there. And Ross, I don't know about you, but did you think Brady had enough time there in the dying seconds? I think the clock might have ran out on him anyways, even if he hits the net there.
I put the word entertaining in the title after that play because it certainly got the heart rate going.
That was an entertaining game. I don't care who you're cheering for, even if you had no skin in the game. Like, that was a wild game to watch.
All right, we're gonna get into some standouts if we can find a couple in this one, and then I think the postcast after dark is we're gonna break a lot of this down because we have plenty more to get into on tomorrow's Locked On Senators. We've got a Sen Central Citizen
packed show
on tomorrow's show. We've got Keegan Little joining us. And then on Thursday, Ian Mendez. And I'm glad that we're recording with Ian tomorrow because I want the temperature to remain high for that interview. And you'll get the same passion as though we're just coming off this game as well. But Pilsy, why don't you say a quick word for our friends at Bet Online, and then we'll get back into to the details of this game because there is a lot more to get into before we turn into our standouts.
Yeah, BetOnline is the trusted online sportsbook of the Locked On Podcast Network, but you guys already know that. I don't have to tell you that. It's the best spot to find all the latest odds, news, player performance props, totals, scores, over-unders, moneyline, puck line, three-way moneyline, whatever you like, they got it. Check it out at betonline.net. And not just hockey, the World Series is heating up, so get your baseball bets in. Football, it's mid-season, massive trades happening today, so that's going to affect futures, and basketball is rolling along too, so get all your bets in all your sports, and at the best spot, the spot we use, it's betonline.net. Guys, that's where the game starts.
All right, you're listening to the Postcast. The score was 4-3 somehow, some way. Nikita Kucherov got the game-winning goal with 2.5 minutes left, and now for the second game in a row, the Ottawa Senators have given up the game-winning goal against in the final 5 minutes. So that's a bit of a kick in the behind for sure in its own self, but the way this scoring summary went was just frustrating from the second period onwards. You'll take the Dylan Gambrell cheeky goal in the first period. The Senators in that period were outshot 12-3, and they come out with a 1-0 lead. Like, if that doesn't tell you how this game started, I don't know what does. Mikhail Sergachev, 3 minutes into the second period on a power play. I want to say that was like the 5th power play of the game. And then they continue to get power plays. I mentioned Mathieu Joseph gets a beauty, unassisted breakaway goal. That's me reminding myself to pack my helmet because the last time I played goalie, I didn't take my helmet off the shelf.
So yikes, old school.
No, the team had to play without a goalie / ask the guy in front to do it. Anyways, neither here nor there. Apologies for that. And then after the second period, Alex Killorn with 11 minutes into the period, so 9 minutes left. He gets his third of the year. Tampa ties it up, but hope is not lost because Claude Giroux capitalizes on a brutal mistake from Andrei Vasilevsky. Brady Tkachuk picks up the assist. Ottawa takes the lead again for 1 minute and 11 seconds. And then Braden Point walks right down Main Street. Right down Main Street. Nice little tip play from Nikita Kucherov at the blue line. But he walks right down Main Street. He scores. Tampa ties it again. And then 5 minutes later, you could feel this one coming from the get-go. And I mean, what more can you say other than it's not every day you're going to get 3 past Vasilevsky on 15 shots. You have to win those games. You simply have to.
Yeah, Ross, from now on, we are going to wish for Vasilevsky against the Sens. I know it sounds crazy, but his numbers are not good, even bad, up against Ottawa. And this just makes things worse, which is crazy to think.
But they're bad numbers. I believe after tonight's game, it'll be about an .895 save percentage.
And above 3 goals against.
But guess what? He's still 10-5. Like, he's still won 10 out of 15 games. Like, that to me, fair. That tells you everything you need to know. This is a divisional game. The Senators are now 0-4 on the road, all against divisional opponents. They're the only team in the division under 500, which means they're 8 out of 8 teams in the Atlantic Division. Did you see those close-ups of Pierre Dorion at the end of the game? He's about
stressed.
To snap. Yeah. No, he's about to snap, and he needs to do something. I don't know what it is, if it's pulling the trigger for a defenseman. I know Chikrin's always the hot name. This guy's not even playing right now. He's so far out of the picture.
And the price tag's insane.
You have to do something, though. You cannot continue to lose every game. I don't care how close they are. The shots are ridiculous. Anton Forsberg should be, I would say, if they did the voting today, which obviously they don't, but you know how they do like Rookie of the Month? Shout out Shane Pinto. If you had a Goalie of the Month, this guy's got to be top 3 in the league right now. Without him masking a lot of the problems on this team, it wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know. I'm not quite at the angry panic level yet. I know everything you said is very true. And bottom of the Atlantic, you can't have this poor start, but I know he said it doesn't matter. The games are close. If they get a couple points here, they're feeling a lot better about themselves, but you are what your record says you are, and you're 4-5. You're last place in the Atlantic, second last place in the Eastern Conference. So although I don't think it's terrible, smash the panic button mode time, you're gonna have your work cut out for you. Just trying to get back in the mix here, and we're only in the second month of the season in November 1st here, so it's gonna be tough. all I can do is hope that when Zub comes back, Shabbat feels a little better. Although those guys playing together weren't much better than Shabbat has been now either. So you need bigger games from Shabbat, and you need bigger games from Timmy. I mean,
Yeah.
Timmy's your top center now without Josh Norris, and he's been pretty invisible. I saw someone in the comments said, "Did Timmy dress up as a ghost for Halloween because he's disappearing recently?" And that is true. He had a bunch. He had some pep in his step, Ross, and he made some good zone exits and like good forechecking and stuff like that. But I mean, you need more from him here, and Shabbat hasn't been good enough. Like I'm still cool temperature on DJ here, but it's not looking good. I mean, these are dire times here.
Yeah, and it looks like Parker Kelly felt the wrath of DJ Smith as well after he took that cross-checking penalty, which I think
Yeah.
was pretty deserved at the end of it. But when you look at his ice time in this game as well, it was certainly affected. He played 4 shifts in the third period and 2 in the second after taking that penalty at the was at the end of the second period? All right. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the
Yeah.
second period when he took that penalty. So clearly he's not being used much. And look, 22, say what you want about him. 5-on-5 was a complete disaster. Like, I agree with you that Shabbat didn't look great. He was still a 60% Corsi tonight at 5-on-5. And again, how much 5-on-5 was there at this game?
Yeah.
Tim Stützle was 13 shot attempts for, 4 against at 5-on-5. I still
Wow.
want to see more from him. Nikita Zaitsev at 5-on-5, 8 minutes and 24 seconds, 1 shot attempt for, and 13 against. Nick Holden, 3-4, 14 against.
Yeah.
Guys, they're supposed to be defensive defensemen. I get it. They're going to take more defensive zone draws. That will lead to being on. I get it. I'm an apologist for defensive defensemen. I got a Jared Cowan jersey once upon a time. I have an Anton
I've got
Volchenkov
that jersey.
Yeah, like, I love defensive defensemen. Mark Mathot, back on this show Friday. Stay tuned for that. Defensive defensemen. I love when they're good. But when they're bad, there's nothing more noticeable. Yeah, Zub, I would say, is a 2-way defenseman, Sean. Like, he's got that little pop to him sometimes as well. I think we're gonna see it more and more, hopefully. No, Joe, no Volchenkov slander. We'll get to the comments very shortly as well, because I'm sure that if I'm this fired up, I'm sure you guys are as well. And you know what? Maybe it's because my parents were at the game too. They make the hour drive in from when they are, and it's like, come on,
Yeah.
that's just a complete joke. Said some people were being rude to them in the hallway too, like an
Unbelievable.
entitled fan base as well. Steve, go away. All that to say, this game was just over basically before it started. It felt like, even though they're leading, it's a complete joke for me where this team's at right now, and the fact that we're not going into what was supposed to be a bit of a brighter period.
Yeah.
You know, you win 4 in a row. Sure, you lose at home to end the homestand. We basically made excuses for them for that one. Even the Florida game, afternoon game, first game on the road. I labeled this a must win, and when that's the case, you got to be mad about it too.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think you're hitting all the points on the head, Ross, here, and there's not much. I can't really debate with you, and I can't really like match your anger right now. So all I'll say is there's a lot of time left in the season here. I think we need to hold on to hope that these guys can get clicking, because DeBrincat still with only 2 goals, like he's gonna heat up here. I mean, Timmy's gonna heat up here. I think the defense can't get any worse, right? It can't get any worse than
I don't
this.
know.
So
I mean, I watched the 2018-19 Ottawa Senators, so
Oh,
what we're seeing right now, yes, it can get worse. But like I said, this is a team that's been outshot in 10 straight periods, outscored in most of them. And then you get periods like the first one and this one where, yes, it's 1-0 Ottawa, but is it? After
the Sens were losing 1-0 there, Ross.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So DJ Smith after the game looked to me like a very frustrated individual.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to settle for, because I do think Pierre Dorion did his job for the most part. We knew the decor was a little bit suspect going into the season. Call it a sacrificial lamb or what, but one of those 2 defensemen, Holden or Zaitsev, just wave them. Like, send a message to the locker room that this is unacceptable and it can't go on. And also, just take away DJ's toy. Like 22 is his
Yeah.
crutch. You know what? I didn't even realize when we were interviewing DJ, but I thought about it. I think I tweeted it yesterday. He's been on the bench for every single one of the 402 NHL games Nikita Zaitsev has played in the NHL.
Yeah, he basically came along in that trade. Yeah.
No, he did. Every single game Zaitsev has played, DJ Smith has had a front row seat, and he still thinks he should be in the lineup.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000 kilometers away, and I can see he shouldn't be in the lineup. Anyways, give me a Central standout. We'll get to the chat in just a minute. However, there had to be someone with a good performance, and I think I know where you're going to go. If not, I'll take him.
I'll let you take the obvious one, Ross, and I agree. I think maybe now's the time you waive Zaitsev to, at the very least, send a message, if not addition by subtraction.
They went with the bag skate after the Florida game. Didn't work. Something has to be sent to these players because it is unacceptable. And I'm sure Brady's mad. I'm sure Claude Giroux's mad. He gets a goal tonight. But as a team, they're not any like. By the way, like Jake Sanderson still looks sick. Like it's the team plays so bad, and you're still like, damn. Every time he's on the ice, I'm confident.
And that's the thing too, Ross. I think he's only going to get better. So I think once he gets Zub back, everything eases in a little. Sanderson gets a little bit better. And Shabbat, I'll say it also, Shabbat can't play much worse than this. He can't. We've seen him play so much better.
He was bad with Zub. We're talking that's the worst pair that they had at the start of the season.
Yeah, I don't know who you put with Shabbat. It used to be, Ross, the thing was it doesn't matter who you put with Shabbat. He'll lift them up anyways and you can forget about it. But now it's like Shabbat, no matter who he's with, plays bad himself and brings the other player down too. So maybe you get a Zub and Sandy as the top D pair, and they're the ones that really help things out here. I don't know, but that's something we can dive into more on tomorrow's show. We've hit it pretty good here, so I'll go with my Sen Central standout.
No. You don't pass it over to me on a night like this where I'm upset and then just take it back. It's Mathieu Joseph. Come on, the revenge.
Oh, that's where I was going. I was going to leave you Forsey.
Oh, no. It's the revenge game. You know I'm a sucker for those. Kills over 6.5 minutes of penalties. Plays 17-26. Gets the goal. 3 block shots. I believe, he drew the penalty as well, where I don't know how Callan Foote didn't know his stick was literally in between his legs for 5 seconds. That's a hook. He impeded him getting to the puck. Anyways, we don't talk about the refs. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, Mathieu Joseph, my Sen Central standout.
All right, nice. Yeah, that's where I was going to go. I thought Forsey was the more obvious one here as he gets 30 out of 34 shots saved. And look, he had to make a lot of great saves here. Like he was getting Kucherov and Stammer very pissed off throughout this game. Like Stammer was just firing slap shots out of anger. He wasn't even trying to score. He's just trying to blow off some steam at one point. And I thought Forsey was really sharp. Sure, he gets beaten 4 times. So you're like, well, how sharp was he? But man, he didn't have a whole lot of chances on those. Like that Braden Point one you referenced, he's going in full speed from his blue line to the net. And that's Braden Point. He's a fast player and with skill. So no chance there. The Sergachev one, no chance. The Kucherov one, it's from a far angle. He's wide open. That's Nikita friggin' Kucherov. He's going to score that goal every single time. So I thought Anton Forsberg had a really good game considering the fact that he's now had 92 shots against in the last 2 games.
I just wanted that stat to sink in. 92 saves or shots against?
I think it's shots. Yeah.
Well, saves can't be too far behind. I mean, no. Okay, so that's one Sen Central standout each. I say we get into the Postcast after dark. I want to pull up comments. We appreciate everyone for joining us in the Postcast and making us your first listen each and every day. We've got a quick recap coming. Pillsy recorded that. Those are going to be in YouTube Reels, so you can go check that out. More content, the better, and we hope that the wins will follow. We're going to be back in 2 seconds. You're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day. All right, what do you say we just get right to the comments? Because I mean, there's not much more to say about that effort there, Pillsy. All right, where do you want to start? Hey, why don't we start with our boy Joe Bell? Smash the like button. All right,
Nice.
let me get out of this this infographic. Ready? On the fly here. There we go. All right, Pilsy. So why don't oh, you're in as a guest right now, so you actually can't see these comments. Yeah, I gotta pull them up.
No, I got him. I see him.
Okay.
Following along here. Yeah, classic Joe, always helping us out, reminding people to smash that like button.
Yeah,
Respect, Joe. Appreciate you.
did you see Nikita Zaitsev run into the ref and basically give him a hug?
No.
That was his highlight of the night.
Yikes. I mean, at least he's playing the body. That's what you ask of him, right?
Exactly. All right, here, Dylan. I honestly think that the lines could use, I'm assuming you mean, some tweaks. I mean, why not see if there's chemistry in other places? Pilsy, where would you start with that?
You tweeted it out, Ross. I thought putting Giroux on a line with Brady and with Pinto as the centerman there, I thought that was a little spicy. I like that because we know Pinto and Claude Giroux have had really great chemistry, and then Brady. I think there's a lot of kind of mutual respect between Brady and Claude. You know, like Claude is the grizzled vet that's seen it all, and Brady's the young guy that's kind of mature beyond his years as far as a hockey player goes. So I think they have a mutual respect. And then you toss a guy in there like Shane Pinto that has a lethal shot and really high hockey IQ and can play adequately defensively for how young of a centerman he is. I think that would be a line I'd be interested in looking at.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Crazy vibes. Yeah, that's a great way to put tonight. When do you call up guys like Ridley, Sokolov, or Roby? And I'll just add Angus Crookshank in there because I like the guy.
Honestly, of all the players, it's probably not any of those guys, Ross, because I don't feel like
I don't want to bring them into this environment.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do, they're playing on the fourth line. And Sokolov and Roby Jarventi, you can't have those guys playing on the fourth line. It's just not good for anyone. They don't get enough touches. They're not with offensive skill guys. It's not going to work out for them. So I don't know. This sounds crazy, but maybe you bring a guy like Scott Sabourin up just so the boys get a boost physically. I mean, he's going to play 8 minutes a night.
Hiller, or are you DJ Smith right now?
If you're going to swap him for Parker Kelly, that's something I look at maybe because you're not going to have a prospect come in here and play 7 minutes a night and light it up like you want your first, second round picks to do here. So I think if you're making a change up front, it's going to be something minimal like that. Maybe even like a Cole Reinhardt or something, like someone that's just going to mix up that fourth line a bit. Cause I feel like Parker Kelly has just been okay. If you're going to do a call up, it's going to be on defense here. Like I think that's the obvious move. Yeah. Like wave Zaitsev, like we talked about, and bring up either, I don't know if it's time to bring up last year JBD, because if you bring those guys up, I want them up for longer than a cup of coffee because I don't feel like that helps them at all. So are you committed to bringing them up longer when you know Zub's going to be back soon? I'm not sure. Otherwise,
Hetherington's here.
Yeah, but I feel like Hetherington has just been brought up as a placeholder guy and someone they know they're not going to lose off waivers or disrupt the development of someone like JVD or Lassie for a game or two. Like I feel like that's just a paper move. If you're going to actually put a guy into play, that's a whole different story. Because I don't think really the forwards, any changes you're going to make on forward are going to move the needle too far when it comes to wins and losses. The obvious problem here is the defensive structure of that team. That's why I went with someone that's not offensively focused up front, Ross. Like that, I don't think that's not the issue. And if you're going to get more offense, it's not going to be from someone you call up from Belleville. It's going to be from Timmy. It's going to be from DeBrincat, guys that haven't started clicking yet. It's going to be from Joseph, who just had his first goal tonight. So
this is, to me, a systems problem more so than a personnel problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't really sit up here and defend DJ Smith's defensive structure here. So
there is none.
Yeah,
like the first period,
nothing I can say.
They gain the red line, they dump it in, they don't even chase, and then they just get into a defensive formation and just let them attack in waves. You can give credit to the other team to an extent, but at the other half, you got to figure it out. Evan's asking, I'm assuming it's Pilsy, where's the panic button right now?
It's still in the drawer, but it's It's closer to the front of the drawer here. Like it's I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not picking up on everything like most people are. But I'm not fully panicked here. We're 4-5. There's not a math guy, but what's that? 7? No. What's 82 minus 9? 73 games left. Well, there's 73 games left.
Yeah. Bretsky asking us to rank these players. Like, yeah, what do you want me to say? There's 73 games left.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like DJ,
That was
make
the
any
correct.
changes? DJ, you gonna make any changes?
Yes. Ha ha ha. Yes.
Okay, let's see them.
I
Bretsky,
thought you were going to go with the probably not on that one, Ross.
Probably not.
rank these players. Let's do the forwards first. Hoffman, Filatov, Burrows, and Dumont. No, that's got nothing to do with this team right now. But here's what I'll start with. Would you throw any players on the team right now into the mix with those 5 forwards in the same class?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Like these are all players I think that overstayed their welcome in Ottawa. Would you make any changes up front right now with the 12 guys? You said Parker Kelly, right?
Yeah.
You just scratch him? Couple bad penalties for him.
That's the thing. Like you're playing such limited ice time, and when you do play, you're taking bad penalties out there. This isn't Parker Kelly's done. Send him down to the minors, but sit the kid for a little and let him watch a game from the press box to kind of let things sink in a bit. I think is the right play there.
Oh my God, crazy vibes. This is crazy by you. Bring back Guy Boucher.
Rest is a weapon.
No, thank you. I do not need to see Guy Boucher once again in that one. Yeah, we got a few already locked and loaded here as well. What did I think about the refs? I wonder what Brady Tkachuk. How are the refs tonight?
I don't even know what he's thinking. He's just a complete brickhead. He's got nothing up there. Just bad guy, bad player. But what a joke he is.
Yeah, agreed. This reffing was atrocious tonight in the game. Joe Bell, I like this one, man. No chance that DeBrincat would want to be a part of this. Now, let's talk about DeBrincat because he had a couple shots tonight. He was not dangerous out there. Big hit, though, and then he got crunched by Nick Paul right after.
Yeah, that was a big play. I thought I had it marked here. Yeah, it was later on in the game. The Sens had the goalie pulled, and DeBrincat had a really nice chance on that far side, but it was just a wrister that the best goalie in the world is going to stop when he's got no one screening or no traffic in front. So it wasn't good enough. I think it's going to take time for Alex DeBrincat to figure things out because you got to remember, this is a guy that's had the luxury of playing his entire career with Patty Kane. So It's going to take time to figure things out in a new format here, but it hasn't been overly confident kind of building, but let's keep in mind he's still been putting up points. Now, I know you want your 40-plus goal scorer to be putting up more than 2 goals so far, but he's still getting involved in the mix here.
Yeah, he's tied with Mark Kastelik in goals.
Hey, Casty's had a good year.
Casty has. Ron asking if DJ's relieved of his duties, who replaces him?
You know, normally I would go right to Troy Manross, but things haven't been looking great in Belleville. But also, like, then you got to look at the injuries in Belleville, too. Like, that team is also kind of in shambles here. So it's been tough on both the coaches. But injuries are no excuse. It's hockey. Guys get injured, and you got to have the systems and setup, and you got to have a way to motivate your players to overcome those things. Otherwise, you don't have a chance, quite frankly. So I still believe in DJ and Troy Mann as motivators, but for DJ especially, like there's a lot of pressure going on right now. You mentioned it, Ross. Dorion,
he looks stressed.
He looks like he might lose some more hair here because it's been tough for him so far. And I think the thing that we need to put in bold here is all road losses to division teams. Like, you cannot afford to get no points in any of those games in arguably the best division in the league. It's not going to work for you.
Read this one for me.
Davey Wright official goes 0-4 with Zaitsev in the lineup, 4-1 without him. Coincidence? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but that's fact. That's fact.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like eventually, like how long is it going to take DJ Smith to just say enough is enough with number 22?
Well,
how long?
2 games.
Yeah, I think it is time to do that. Like I don't know what kind of the respect and camaraderie level is with Zaitsev in the room, and if sending him down actually sends like a hard hitting message, and the guys get rocked by that or what. But even if it's not for the emotional change, it's addition by subtraction, and you've seen enough of it here. And even if it means getting Dylan Hetherington, like I forget who put that comment up, even if that is the change you make, it's worth trying at this point.
Bring up Jacob Larson. Bring up anybody. I don't care. I've just had enough of him on the screen. And people think I'm too hard on him. I don't think I'm hard enough, honestly. I
don't think you've said anything that's untrue. Like,
so you're an expert.
Yeah, I'm acting like an expert. Maybe I'm not, but I'd rather Andy Sutton out there throwing bodies, getting in. Noah wants JBD. Like, yeah, and Brett makes a good point too. Like, the guys in the room are probably sick of it too.
That's what I was saying. I wonder, like, when we talk about waiving them to prove we're serious about change, like, are they just like, well, yeah, no shit, like, it's about time he waived Zaitsev. Like, I don't know if that's the situation or not.
Yeah, Jammy's got a great point here. The buzz man in here. Give me Christians Rubens. I don't care. Give me anybody. I just want fresh blood, and I want them to understand that what they've done in the last handful of games simply is not working. Nobody can be worse than 1 shot attempt for when they're on the ice and 14 against in 9 minutes. 14 shot against in 9 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Now, Ross, so let me pose this to you, because it seems like everybody in the chat is clamoring for JBD. Is that your go-to move? Like, are you comfortable bringing him up quickly and then sending him back down when Zub's back, or what is your vibe for what to do if Zaitsev does in fact get waived, which we kind of hope is what's happening here?
Holden was a nice story last year. He's been awful this year too.
Yeah, I know. I thought moving him to the third pair would shelter him enough that he would just be able to play a simple game, but hasn't worked. Yeah.
And it's tough. Like, it's harder for me tonight, especially, to get on Holden and Zaitsev a little bit more. Like, Zaitsev, we know what he is, but they also killed more than 8.5 minutes in penalties.
And they were down a man most of the game in Gambrell, and then Parker Kelly was benched. So you're essentially down 2 men also.
Yeah. What more can you say? Dylan Gambrell plays 7 minutes. Kelly plays 6. And Watson sits on the bench after his fight. Plays 7 minutes in the game, sat in the box for 5. This is a team that is in disarray versus the perception that we had about them. They've been now doubled up in shots in back-to-back games. Doubled. Every one you get, they get 2. Not to be a hardo or a galaxy brain thinker here, but you're not going to win many games when that's the case.
Probably not.
Probably not.
It's true. It's true. All right, what else do we got here? I'm in a bad mood.
I mean, this is kind of legit. Like, I saw a lot of hustle out there in that pickleball tournament. That was a great video, by the way, like a fun PR piece. But man,
you'll like this one, Pilsy. Where are you at with this?
I like it. I really think it's time to mix in a Hellberg game. Not because Forsberg's the issue and you need to switch things up, but give the guy a break. My God. And just have the players. Sometimes you got to do this, Ross. And I feel like this is something that, the Buffalo Sabres did back in the day with Marty Biron. Like, you can't just be like, oh, we got Dominic Hasek, we'll just win 1-0 every game. You got to have them thinking, hey, you don't just have a brick wall back there. You need to play a little tighter defensively. Not that Magnus Hellberg isn't a brick wall. 3-0 in NHL starts is that good. I'm pretty sure it is. But just the fact that you're not going to have the comfortability you usually have with Forsey back there. You got to tighten things up. So maybe that would help. And I know Talbot's close to coming back here, but this has been one hell of a stretch for Forsberg, and he's so tired he can't even practice. And now he's getting 92 shots in back-to-back games.
Would you say his mental state might be in disarray?
Forsberg?
Yeah. After how much he's been in there? Dylan saying the word of the day. Word of the day.
Word of the day
is disarray. And that's what this team is right now in the defensive zone. Not even in the defensive zone. I think it can be expanded to just when they don't have the puck. When they don't have the puck, they have no idea where to go, where to be, and how to get the puck back. What would be your best guess? So the team comes home now. It's going to be
Thank God.
Tough flight home, if you ask me. But where are we going to go from here? Vegas is coming to town first in the Pacific. I believe they're 7-2 on the season. They've dominated Ottawa every time they've played, it feels like, when they play head-to-head.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get more into this on Thursday's episode with the game preview, but I think you got to be looking at Vegas and being like, I know the goalies have been good, but those are two very inexperienced goalies. We're going to pepper them with shots. We're going to play so pesky it hurts. We're going to get garbage goals.
Pepper them with shots.
Yeah, as the Ottawa Senators do, Ross.
Here's a stat for you. Here's a stat. When the Ottawa Senators have more than 30 shots on goal, they're 4-1. Their only lost game against Buffalo in the opener, they had 36. And when they have under 30 shots, they are 0-4. 0-4.
Yep. And those stats probably perfectly line up with the Zaitsev games.
And guess what? When they have under 20 shots, they're 0-1, like tonight when they had 15 shots on goal. The power play went 0-3. Tampa's went 1-8.
I thought the power play looked decent, though. As decent as an 0-3 can look. They were killing off penalties, and then when they were getting the quick power play, their power plays looked kind of better than Tampa Bay's for most of those three. At least two of them, it seemed that way. So the power play is not the issue. The issue is they can't get to that power play often enough.
Thanks for the smile. So pesky it hurts. I love that. That's great. Pillsy, give me your final thoughts because we got to save some for tomorrow. I just want to tell everyone in the chat as well, Barry Trott's not coming to coach the Ottawa Senators.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard him on Cam and Strick's podcast, but he really lined things up that he was interested in the Leafs job. And if we're talking about hot seats here, Sheldon Keefe's seat is it's hot.
Okay, final thoughts before we get to tomorrow's show. I'm going to leave with this. Will there be a change, whether it's a personnel change, a coaching change, any type of change before the game Thursday?
No coaching change. I'm sorry, guys. It's not going to happen. Personnel change, yeah, there's got to be. I think. Stewie, what color are you bleaching the hair and beard? I think that's the big question here. But no coaching change. If there's going to be a personnel change, it'll be Parker Kelly or Nikita Zaitsev. I'm saying it. It has to be Nikita Zaitsev on the decor, but a safer pick is Parker Kelly change.
My final thought, I'm going to get your take on it as well. I'm scrolling up, but it was I'm going to find out who said it. We appreciate everyone in the chat for being so active. But what are our thoughts on Tim Stützle's performance, not only tonight, but throughout the entire season? It feels like he's holding on to the puck a little long. I like the move to hold on to it when there was a diving poke check in the third period coming. I think it was when they're on the power play.
That was a nice toe drag.
But then he didn't get rid of it after. To me, if you hold on to it that long, you have to know what you're going to do once that.
He's addicted to holding on to it. Yeah.
And sometimes it looks cool when he spreads his legs wide and uses his edges like that. But then there's other times where it just gets turned over and it goes the other way. But let's put it this way. They're not winning or losing games because of how Tim Stützle, a 20-year-old center, is playing. There are bigger issues at play than with Tim Stützle's game.
But I still think he is a big part of it, though, Ross. And it's unfortunate because Josh Norris is out. That really puts a lot more pressure on him. But He's got to be better. And I'm not saying he's been horrible, but there's just too many nights where you don't see enough from him. And yeah, like you said, he holds on to the puck too long, and what flashes of brilliance he does have get pressured out and fizzle out into a turnover usually, because he's just gets backed into a corner, or he's got nowhere to go at that point. So I think we need better from Timmy, but the biggest thing is we need better from Thomas Chabot. If we're going final thoughts here, that is the number one thing, because this team, unfortunately, the way it is structured and the way they're going to depend on winning, we know the decor is a weakness. So the guy that usually props it up has to at least keep it level here. Like, it's dipping, the globe is dipping into the ocean here. He's got to push it at least above surface here, because it's not good enough. And without him, it's too much to ask for Jake Sanderson to do that. He, as good as he is, it's too soon for that. So that would be my final thought, is Chabot's not adequate play is holding this team down big time.
And it was Brady Merrifield who asked that question. And yes, BetOnline is having a heyday with me as well. All right, tomorrow we'll get into some more. We'll get into some more sound bites as well. Wait, Brett, what do we got? What do you want? What have I not played tonight that we could? This has got to be where Pierre Dorian's head is at right now.
Rest is a weapon. If I hear that one more time, I'll go
Not
crazy.
That one.
Oh, he's going to go crazy.
The other Dorian one.
Do I have it here? Yes, I do.
We're a team. We're a team. We're a team. We're a team.
So you're an expert.
We're a team.
And Ross, I can't believe it. We went through this, and we're obviously going to dive more into this on tomorrow's episode. But massive news for the Ottawa Senators. You know where I'm going.
They're for sale?
Corey Conacher agrees to a PTO. No, that's the fake out. But yes, we're obviously going to get more into the sale of this team. The announcement, basically, that, well, not even really announcement, but just putting the pieces together that this team is getting geared up for a sale. So that is one, Ross, where I can't wait to have Ian Mendez on here, because that's going to be fascinating to hear what he has to say on that topic.
I love the, who is it? The guy, he's in all the Adam Sandler movies. Rob Schneider. Oh no, we suck again.
No.
And we will leave you with a laugh tonight. The Ottawa Senators lose 4-3. We appreciate everyone, win, lose, or draw. The emotions are always high right after the game, and that's when we do our best work in. We're 9 games in. There's plenty of hockey to be played, and we'll try to make sense of this tomorrow. Coming up later this week, Sen Central Citizen, Ian Mendez, and Mark Mathot. We also have a game Thursday where you can catch us right after in the Postcast. But for today, we say goodbye. Lots to think about before tomorrow's show. And let us know on Twitter at Sen Central if there's anything in particular you want us to get into. For Brandon Pillar, I'm Ross Levitan. Thank you to everyone in the chat. You've been listening to the Postcast After Dark.